Alright guys, so welcome back here. We have pretty much finished the panel. I know it's been, I want to say about a couple weeks since I filmed the last video, then maybe about a week or so that I uploaded it. Obviously I've got a lot done. I think it's pretty much done at this point. I just made the stand for it last night and painted it. But it was sitting on a table right there, just chilling, doing its thing. But yeah, here it is. So it's not plugged in right now. I'll probably actually just go ahead and plug it in. So here's all of our doohickeys. All right, and well, actually, I'm gonna have to open this up first because I got the whole thing off. But it works pretty much like how we had discussed that it was going to. So yeah, there's that. Let me turn it on first, and then I can walk through everything and turn it on, and then should be, yep, we're on. So there's the monitors hooking up, and that light right there. So yep, there we are. Okay, so where to begin? I don't even know exactly where we left off on the last one, but I don't think we had any of this on. So the PLC, that's that. Yep. So we got it in. It's the 10 or the Click CO10 Dre D. So 6 inputs and then, or no. Yeah, 8 inputs, then 6 outputs on that. Of course, our inputs are these 3 switches right here. The emergency, start and end cycle. And then, what else have we got on here? The programming on this was actually, so I was a bit intimidated on the programming on it, because obviously that's something I've never really done before, but thankfully the Click, they've got a lot of online resources, and a lot of other people have put out videos, helpful videos, to show you how to go through and program everything, which is pretty cool. So definitely appreciative of that. It took a while. I can probably boot up the software here a little bit and then show you kind of what I was dealing with, but eventually it took a few days to kind of figure everything out, like their, I guess, user interface or their language on how to, I suppose, put in like what you want it to do. So you can figure it out in your head what you want it to do, but to be able to put that into the computer's or the program's language, to, you'll see what I'm talking about here a little bit, but it's good. There was only, so I made one mistake in this whole thing. Nothing huge. What it was that I had ran my commons as like a standard common, like a white blue, right? Acting kind of like as a neutral, but this isn't, a common isn't a neutral on low voltage, or DC I should say, but I ran it like that, or a negative or whatever. So I ran it with the white blues hooked into the commons on the 18 gauge for the DC side. But what I should have done was ran those commons as hots, right? To give each, I guess, bank, is that what you would call it, for those outputs there. So I had to go through with the meter and test, because what was going on was I hooked it up, I hit the power, of course all the relays are on, but I think I had a light, I was testing that light, and it wasn't turning on. So I was like, well, this is weird. So I was going through checking to make sure I had current here at the terminals on the relays, and I didn't, and that was why, because it wasn't getting current to these here, it was acting as the common. So yeah, so I tested all that and was able to figure out that was basically it. So I went through and I had to switch out, I think two, is it C3 and C4? So I had to switch out 2 of them for the blues, and then ran them in down here and plugged it in, and it was good to go. So that was really the only issue that I had as far as troubleshooting this whole thing, and that only took like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes to troubleshoot and correct. And yeah, so, but yeah, that's basically it. I got my little cord there. I don't know if it's bad to leave that plugged in, but that's just where I'm going to stay for now. I got the receptacle there. It's chilling up there, doing its job. But yeah, we got the what you call them, the duct covers, wireway covers, raceway covers. We got all of those in. So the ones from Automation Direct, I don't know what brand they were, but it's off their site. They are very brittle, and I used like a thick pair of cutters to cut these, and you can see like most of them were fine, but it was on the last couple that I cut, it was a pain in the butt. Like, it really messed that up, and I didn't have any more of this to be able to replace it with a nice clean cut one. That was a jagged cut. The only 2 bad cuts were there and there. And this one here, I don't know if you can really tell, but it's a little long, so it's like pushing these 2 out a little bit. Those are the only really things with the duct covers that I were dealing with. I didn't try this yet, but I was thinking that if I took a heat gun and I heated these up just a little bit before you cut them, I'm sure that would soften them up and you get a nice solid cut out of them. But in a perfect world, I would have had like a Milwaukee saw, or not a saw, but the bandsaw. Yeah, bandsaw. But I didn't really want to buy one just for this and not really use it. So, but if I ever build another panel, which I'm already looking at, we'll go through that here in a little bit. I'm already looking at building another junction box where I'll have to put in this here, and I could actually probably go ahead and talk about that, but that is basically it. And that for this, yeah, everything works well. We're good, all hooked up, got everything all zippy tied. I like my zippy ties. So junction box. So here's the problem that we're running in with right now. This is hideous, right? I don't like that. It's hideous back here. It's hideous all the way through here. I like things nice and clean, as you can tell. So my idea is here, so I had to run, okay, so these are extension cords for my monitors because the monitor plugs aren't long enough. Go figure. It's almost like they didn't design those to go into something like that, but that's just my thoughts. So what I have to do here is, so even the extension cords, like these are pretty much maxed out, and it's like, I mean, I could do like a little, it's still not going to be that great. So what I have to do is I'm going to put another stick here on the back, another 2x4 deal, run it along the bottom right there, and then I'm going to have to make another brace and put it up here close to the bottom of my my desk here, and I want to mount another smaller box basically the same way that it's built right there. It's going to be a junction box basically. That way I can have all of my conductors, my extension cords, everything ran down into that box right there, and I'm going to probably pull some THW in. I think I got to pull maybe, I think it's like 18 conductors in one and then 3 in the other. I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm going to have to pull about 21 14 gauge THW in conductors all the way from that box here to there. And I'm going to probably do it with some EMT I'm gonna have to run 2 sticks down with the fancy bends and everything down to that junction box right there. I gotta run 2 because one's going to be for the feeder. I'm gonna separate the feeder and the branch circuits. So of course all the branch ones will be in there. I'm probably gonna do probably have the branch circuits going into the top of it, and then the feeder in the bottom, something like that. I'll figure that out when I guess get more time to think about it or whatever. So, but that's kind of what we're dealing with that, and that should make that look a whole lot cleaner. Make that look, well, I guess by fixing that will make that look, well, installing that will make that look a lot cleaner, and that will look better of 2 of course. So that's kind of what we're working with here. So let me pull up, turn my PC on. So what I had, I'll tell you this real quick. What I would originally wanted to do was make this desk operate on a, I guess, with the sequence to whenever I turn this on, that the desk will, if it's already up, that it would lower, right? Because my cat's in here, they get on my desk. I don't like that. So whenever I'm done with it, then it would go back up. That way they can't jump on it. Let me turn this thing on. So, let me get this booted up here. Okay, so here we are. We'll talk about that in a second. So that way is whenever, but I wanted to do that, but I think I couldn't. Well, I can, but see, the problem is I'm not sure the way how that's going to work on my on the outputs on the PLC or the inputs or whatever. I've not really thought too much about it, but I think there's going to be some issues there that it may not work quite that well. And that's okay, because I mean I can hit a switch down here or whatever, and it's not really too huge of a deal. The idea was to just make the lights and I guess sort of the main things, the monitors of course, to be all operated on that. That way I can just come in and hit a switch and boom, it's done. Obviously I didn't do that starting this video because I'm still just getting comfortable with the whole thing and making sure that it's running correctly before I just leave it plugged in and on all the time. So we're just letting it, making sure that it's operating correctly. But so far I've not had any issues with it. I'm just gonna hope and pray that it stays that way. So here we are in the Click software. Once I figured out how to do it, like I said, it took a couple days to figure it out, like how to, I guess, navigate it and put in, like, for example, if you know anything about programming, is so like these switches here, the way they program in, it's not like just going through and putting, hey, I want a switch right there. You have to, there's this thing called sealing and latching. So if I, like you guys have seen whenever I push this switch, right? You push it in and it comes right back out. It's not like a push in and click like the e-stop is. So if you were to do that, you would have, if I were to put a switch in here, I would have to create that latching to where whenever I push it, it latches and it keeps all those loads on, basically. Because if you don't, then you just push it in and it turns on for a second, then once you let go, it just turns off. I could not figure out how to put the latching in. So it took a few days to just kind of, I guess, just watch different YouTube videos on how to figure that out, but I found the right video, and the rest is history. We got it. So it only took like, I don't know, maybe an hour or so after I'd watched that video, or as I was going through it, I guess, to put everything together to test it. The cool thing is this has got like a live feed. I'm not gonna really worry about turning it on right now because I have to connect it. I don't want to waste anybody's time here more than probably what I already have. But yeah, so we got it, and it's pretty cool. It's not as it's not as hard as what people might think it would be to program these. And maybe there's a stigma or something out there where people will try to make it say, oh no, it's hard, like they're trying to, I don't know, puff themselves up to make it think they're something special because they're programmers. But it's not that hard. It's not crazy, dude. Like, chill, bro. So yeah, but I don't know, that's just me ranting, but that's that. And it's, yeah, so yeah, but I don't have really too much else to really show you guys right now. I wish I would have been able to do like a time-lapse video or even like a POV GoPro deal of me actually building the panel, but if I were to do that, that would have already added more like time and stress and everything to the actual build itself. And I don't like moving around a big wonky camera. I've done that so many times for so long. Well, not so long, but so many times it just creates more frustration, and you're more focused on it, I feel like, than you are the actual project. And I just don't really like that. But maybe in the future, if I if this is something I can build more projects, then maybe I can get a GoPro or something I want to do more, then I can actually film the process itself. But yeah, the next step is to put in that junction box. I don't think it's gonna cost quite as much to get everything for it. I just got to get another panel, and then I'm gonna try to see. I don't really like these. They just feel like super junk. I mean, they're cheap, man. I mean, they get the job done, but I guess in hindsight, I probably wish I would have gone on like eBay and just found out, or just got some Allen Bradley used ones or something. But I already found some more. They're in my cart now, so we'll plan on probably getting those Allen Bradleys for the junction box, and then I may just go through and swap all of those out and put those in place of those and keep those for something else. But for now, we'll see, and we'll just, I guess, cross that bridge when we get there. But so yeah, once I get that and get all the cable for it, the EMT, probably get a few sticks of that. I'm gonna have to probably get a couple more sticks just to practice on before because an industrial electrician, we don't really mess with those. That's what I do. So but yeah, so nothing else here is really standing out to me right now as far as things I want to point out. I mean, this thing's done. I don't have really much else to actually do to it. The only really thing I needed to do to it was go through and figure out how to add timers on these. That's one thing about the software, is there's a few more things I have to go and kind of figure out, like the wording or the language of how to do what you want it to do, basically. So yeah, it's just adding those on timers. That way, as I hit this switch, the lights turn on, then there's a 3-second wait, then my monitors, and then maybe another few second wait. There's that, because that's the whole point of this thing, is that way I'm not overloading the circuit and causing a surge and then putting extra wear on all my electrical components, is to space it out and then soften that, that instant hit to to our supply, or to our loads, or, well, components or whatever. So so yeah, I think that's basically it, guys. Again, nothing else is really standing out to me, so I don't know what the next video is going to entail in this sequence. Like I said, it's basically done as far as all of this, and we'll get all that, so I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know when I'll upload next. I don't know what it'll even be, so just stay tuned because yeah. Well, alright guys, thank you for watching. Just stay tuned because we'll have more to add to this, I'm sure of. So appreciate you all watching. If anybody is a real electrician, let me know down in the comments. And see if there's anything that maybe I'm goofing up or maybe I should add, or I'm definitely open to instruction. So let me know what you guys think, guys. So thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.